Hello and welcome everybody to another Avatar The Last Airbender draft video. I'm paulcheon and today we are sitting at rank number 13. So we have been doing a little bit of climbing. I actually feel bad. I did a recording. I actually just did a private stream for all the folks in my Discord. The date of this recording is actually on Thanksgiving, although it's coming out much later. But we did go 7-2 with a nice Golgari deck. And hopefully we can keep going. I'd like to be able to crack the top 10 by the end of this draft. Now, before we hop into this draft, I just wanted to say that this video is brought to you by TCGplayer.com. Go to TCGplayer.com for all your Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. Whether you want to buy some booster boxes of Magic the Gathering product, including, of course, Avatar The Last Airbender, or you wanted some singles for your standard, modern, or commander decks, check out TCGplayer.com. Make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Also, go to heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. They are your one-stop shop for top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, and much, much more. Go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Ooh, Doomwake is in this draft. I recognize that person. Okay, well, this is interesting. I don't know what this does. At the beginning of each end step, if an opponent lost 2 or more life, you may put a quest counter. Whenever a card is put into opponent's graveyard from anywhere, you drain them. Okay, well, I don't think this card's probably very good. I mean, honestly, this is a Prince format. Look at the rares and uncommons. What do we have? We have the Legend of Kyoshi and a Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper. So this is possibly my favorite uncommon in the set. It's 2 colors. It's very good. But this card's also probably great. And it's monocolored. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. Earthbend X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. It becomes an island. And then it becomes a 5/4 creature that gives you mana. Honestly, this is 100%, like, I actually think the Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper might actually even be better, but because this is a monocolored card, and it's a card that we haven't seen, I will try the Legend of Kyoshi, okay? Although now I wish I took the Accumulate Wisdom. I can still take it. I can still take it here. I mean, I will say, blue-green has not gone super well for me, but this is a really powerful card. Accumulate Wisdom. There's also Lost Days, which is a really good interactive spell. And there's also Shared Roots if I want to push the Legends or Archetype here as well. So a lot of directions I can go here. Honestly, I mean, I think it's early enough. And if I do end up playing Legend of Kyoshi, Accumulate Wisdom is probably what I want to do. Shared Roots is also nice because you want to ramp into Legend of Kyoshi. But I do think the upside of Accumulate Wisdom is quite high. And I think the floor is also fairly low. Like, you can just play this card, right? And it's still just going to always be a totally fine thing to do. I mean, it's not busted by any means, but let's take it here and see where this goes. And this is also a card that's worthy of a splash if I do end up in like a red-green deck that is leaning into the lesson stuff. But we'll see where this goes. I'm still just looking to take the highest upside, most powerful cards, use that approach and see where that goes. Here, Lightning Strike is the clear best card in this pack. First Time Flyer is okay if you're looking to do the lessons thing, but certainly not over Lightning Strike this early. Uncle Iroh is also okay. Kind of difficult to cast, but I think I'll just take the Lightning Strike here. I mean, good cheap interaction with all the bombs that exist in this format is pretty important. And now it does look like red might be open. A premium uncommon here after a 3rd pick Lightning Strike, Cave of 2 Lovers. Really, really strong card. 4 mana, make 2 allies. Then you get a mountain, then you Earthbend 3. A ton of value here. I'm also a big fan of Idle Quencha. And Messenger Hawk can also be a fine card here as well. But let's take Cave of 2 Lovers and see where this goes. All right, blue-red. You know, I am okay to move off of my first pick if it's not available. Absolutely. And, you know, certainly Dragonfly Swarm is a very, very nice payoff if you're looking to do the Lessons thing or draft the blue-red spells deck. The other considerations here would be Daily Agents, but we don't have any black cards yet, and I think the Swarm is a little bit better, especially with our start. Rocky Rebuke is also a totally fine interactive spell, and Omashu City is also fine, given that we might end up in Teamer, but Dragonfly Swarm is a really, really good payoff for the blue-red spells deck. So I'm going to take it here and hope that we can continue picking up some blue-red cards here if it is available. Because we're not seeing a whole lot of green here, I will say. All right, pack 1, pick 6. This is kind of weak. There's a Toils of War, but it is literally the polar opposite of everything that we have here so far. There's an Otter Penguin. Corrupt Court Official is also a good card. I wonder if I should consider taking that, but I think, you know, I can also take Deserter's Disciple or Otter Penguin. I mean, these are all pretty bad. I'll take the Otter Penguin. Like, I can see a world where we end up drafting, like, a blue-red, more aggressive tempo deck, right? And the Otter Penguin can certainly do some work there. I am not a big believer in Sokka's Haiku. I think I just prefer the Messenger Hawk. You know, you can do some waterbending stuff. It's an evasive creature. It plays to the board earlier. And, I mean, this is just a 5-mana card. I think it's close, but Sokka's Haiku has been okay, but it hasn't been, like, completely amazing here. But I will say, I mean, it is pretty tough to try to get a sense for what's super duper open. We've seen some blue cards and some red cards, and I haven't seen a whole lot of green, so I feel like we're kind of in the lane that we're supposed to be. There's a Sparring Dummy here, but that's like the first decent green card that we've seen. I can take Mongoose Lizard and Barrels of Blasting Jelly. And I guess I'll take the Barrels of Blasting Jelly. I mean, I found this card to be a totally fine card. Not the most exciting thing to do, but, you know, sometimes you need artifacts for waterbending. It mana fixes you, and then you can use this as a bad removal spell in the late game. And yeah, I mean, it does look like there is a world where we just lean into, like, blue-red flyers, right? And try to be a little bit more aggressive instead of, for example, like, all in on, like, a blue-red pure Lessons control deck. Because we're not seeing a million lessons out of the pack so far, right? But we are seeing certainly fine, playable blue and red cards. But, I mean, I will say, given that we are not playing the Legend of Kyoshi, this is a little bit underpowered for what we could be doing. Wow, that's a really late Daily Agents. But I think it's probably too late to try to pivot over to black-green, but I mean, I suppose the Messenger Hawk is a black card, and we haven't seen a whole lot of blue outside of the Dragonfly Swarm and the Accumulate Wisdom that we saw early. Uncle Iroh is certainly a powerful card here, and something to consider on the splash if I wanted to, but I think I'm just going to take Lightning Strike. It'll quench it maybe on the wheel, but this is just a really good, cheap, interactive removal spell. You can never go too wrong with a good number of Lightning Strikes in the early game. Wow! Abandoned Air Temple is busted. I actually, in my last draft deck, I didn't record it. I just streamed it on my Discord, but I did splash for this with, like, because I had decent mana fixing and it was amazing. But I'm going to take Cave of Two Lovers here. Great card here still. And allows us to just kind of stay on color. We'll note that right now, it doesn't look like we are going to be leaning into... Like, so far, we have one lesson, so I don't even know if I'm going to play the Accumulate Wisdom, but we're not going all in on the lessons theme. Just taking blue and red cards and trying to make the most of it. So I'm not going to take Serpent of the Past. Maybe this Tables. Toph is really powerful. Really powerful. But it makes us go into a third color, which I'm not necessarily ready to commit to. So I actually think I'm just going to take Lost Days. Like, Toph is a good card. And a lot of people are going to be like, OMG, you didn't take the Toph. But my mana fixing isn't great, and Lost Days is a premium interactive spell that keeps me on color and also still acts as a lesson. So I will take the Lost Days here and move on. I turned the stream off when you took Lost Days over Toph. Tell me if you're one of those people. All right, let's take another Messenger Hawk. You know, we did pass the Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper. Kind of wish maybe we were leaning in that direction here. But honestly, our red cards are totally fine. But would like to pick up more ways to draw cards here to really maximize on the Messenger Hawk. Forecasting Fortune Teller would be quite nice. But, I mean, these actually get better in multiples. Oh, and then I guess the Otter Penguin would also work well with what we're trying to do here so far. All right, let's just remove the green cards. And the Battle Fan, like, look, if I need a 2-drop and I have some waterbending, I can certainly see playing the card, but yeah. We need some more ways to generate clues. Again, I think Forecasting Fortune Teller would be a really nice way to stall the ground where we while trying to win with some of these flyers. Pack 2, pick 5. There's an Aang's Journey, which is interesting if I wanted to lean into the lesson angle, but I think I'm just going to take a second copy of Lost Days. Tiger Dillo is actually quite a strong card in red-green, but this deck doesn't really have that many creatures with power 4 or greater, so let us pick up the second copy of Lost Days. And by the way, this is also why I didn't pick up the Sokka's Haiku, just because it's fighting in a very contested slot. Like, Lost Days is a better card than Sokka's Haiku, despite it being an uncommon. And so I'm just happy with what we have here so far. Would love some firebending lessons, of course. Some more cheap stuff here. That would be nice. I'm going to take Serpent of the Past here, although... I mean, it does get cheaper for each spell that I have in my graveyard. And it even includes the Cave of Two Lovers. So I think the Serpent of the Past would be playable. Not amazing, but a fine top-end card as well. But I would like to have, like I said, I think cheap things are what I really, really want. If I can table It'll Quencha, if I can open cards like Firebending Lesson, those are the type of cards that I'll really be on the lookout for here, just to make sure that I have enough things to do early. Here we see a late Firelord Zuko, not even close to being able to cast that card. Nothing in blue or red. There's Cunning Maneuver. I suppose this card's probably fine. I'm actually surprised this is not a lesson, but it is pretty good at, you know, it generates a clue as a trick. Yeah, I'm going to take it over the blue-green land. Like, we're kind of short on playables here, especially if I don't play Barrels of Blasting Jelly and Kyoshi Battlefan. So having another just spell that's a trick that leans into the card draw aspect of what I'm trying to do is nice. Oh my gosh. Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper here on the 8th pick. Like I said, I really wish I took the first one. What did I take? Oh, I took Legend of Kyoshi. Yeah, that's fine. All right, well, you know what? We do have a lot of card draw stuff that matters cards. I am certainly open to splash the Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper if I can pick up more mana fixing. Take a Giant Koi here, certainly a replacement level card. I do like Octopus Form, especially as a 1-up, so I'll take that. There's also Deadly Precision on the splash, but I really want to minimize my splash, and I do think Octopus Form is a fine 1-of in these spell decks. Porcupine I'm less high on, so probably cutting all of these for now. And here we'll take the Beetle-Headed Merchant. By the way, It'll Quencha did not table. So, yeah, we got some blue drafters at the table. At least we have a couple of Lightning Strikes here. You know, I would like to play creatures, but you know, at least with the Lightning Strike, it is something that I can play on turn 2. Oh, I completely forgot too. Like, Yuyan Archers would be totally fine 2-mana play. I really hope that it tables. We are, of course, taking Knowledge Seeker. This card's fantastic. And, yeah, we opened a Ba Sing Se, but yeah, we opened 2 awesome green rares. But green was definitely not the color to be in, so it's a little bit unfortunate. Like, you want to be able to, like, first pick your mythic green rare and then, like, have green be open, but that's not the case here. But Knowledge Seeker is a totally good, serviceable 2-mana play here, so we can't be too upset about that. All right, Pack 3, Pick 2. There's a 3rd copy of Lost Days. That might be pushing it a little bit. I don't know that I want that one. There's a North Pole Patrol, and like I said, I am pretty interested in splashing this Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper. And so I just, you know, like, there is a limit to how many of these cards you can play, and I think 2 is about where I want to be. I think I'm just going to take Boiling Rock Prison and just make sure that I can splash the Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper and not have it feel awkward. All right, Pack 3, Pick 3, Team Avatar. There's a May Jaded Edge, which I might play just because I need a 2-drop. But I can also just use some really good interaction. I might just take Watery Grasp. I just really like this card. You know, maybe one of these cards will table. I think I'll take... Like, May is just fine, I found. I'll just take Watery Grasp. Like, we have 2 Lightning Strikes and a Watery Grasp and 2 Lost Days. Like, our deck could have certainly used more interaction. So picking up this Watery Grasp is totally fine here. I really love the Phoenix Fleet Airship. Man, had I first picked the Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper, like, that would have been great. But that's not where we are. I think I'm just going to take Boomerang Basics over Waterbending Lesson. I do like Waterbending Lesson, but Boomerang Basics seems pretty nice. Like, you can reset your Messenger Hawks. That seems good. You can reset your Cave of 2 Lovers. That can be good. And having a cheap lesson so that our Accumulate Wisdom can do a lot of work also seems like a good place to be. Oh my gosh. Sokka Bold Boomeranger or Knowledge Seeker? Which one's better? I think this is closer than you may think. When you discard up to 2, whenever you cast an artifact or a lesson spell, put a counter on this, and you get to rummage twice. This actually doesn't seem that good. How many lessons do I have? I have 5 lessons. Yeah, I actually think it's Knowledge Seeker. Again, please keep the stream on. I do think Knowledge Seeker is the correct pick. Blue certainly felt open. This card is amazing here. Another Messenger Hawk, but I really do believe Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper is kind of busted. And we have, what, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have enough ways to draw cards. I'm going to take this over the Serpent's Pass. Messenger Hawk, Aang's Journey, and Serpent's Pass would all be nice. But I think now we're set up, like, really, really nicely to close out games here with the Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper. Firebending Lesson, pick 7. So I feel like we were in the right lane, right? The Grixis lane seemed open. We haven't seen a bunch of good white. We haven't seen a ton of good green. So I think the Grixis colors were where we need to be. I'm going to take Firebending Lesson here over Hama. It's a good lesson. And yeah, I mean, now all of a sudden, we have a pretty good shell for a lessons deck, right? We have 6 lessons, so it's not a million lessons, but this does make it so that there is at least a shot that the Accumulate Wisdom can do some work here. So liking this start here. Ooh, wow, black was mega open. Man, Obsessive Pursuit. Can I splash this? I will. I'm going to try splashing it. I don't know how. I'm going to take the Yuya Archers here. Like, I think the barrel of... I don't really want to play multiple barrels of blasting jelly. I will take the Rumble Arena. I don't want to take multiple barrels of blasting jelly. And I think this is actually a really good 2-drop for this deck. So let's take that. And happy with the Rumble Arena, I will definitely play this barrel of blasting jelly. And like I said, any combination of the Grixis colors is kind of where I feel like we should have been here. And yeah, all right. Well, I think this is... certainly an interesting deck. We have 11 creatures with 2 Caves of 2 Lovers, so 13 creatures. It's kind of like the bare minimum. I'm going to play the Otter Penguin. It's not insane, but I think I have enough ways to be able to trigger it, and I just need 2 drops. 27, 26, 25. So we do need to cut 1 card here. Late Heibai. And I don't think it's any of the 2 drops. Oh my gosh, another 4 Messenger Hawks. Caw-caw. All right. Let's figure out our... Okay, I don't think I need Cunning Maneuver. My creature count's quite low. Barrel of Blasting Jelly gives us much needed mana fixing, which I think can be important here. Giant Koi is definitely cuttable. Porcupine is cuttable. Battle Fan is cuttable. I think it's worse than the Penguin because I can make this evasive. And I don't have that much water bending. I mean, Kyoshi... Yeah, I don't know. It's close. I mean, I could just cut both, to be honest. And I actually feel like I want to cut some of my more expensive cards. I think I can win with my Flyers and the Swaggy Swamp Spirit Keeper. I'm actually questioning whether or not Serpent of the Past is good here. I like Boomerang Basics to bounce my own things and trigger everything, which is pretty good. I really want to try this card. Like I said, it might not even be good enough on the splash, but I want to find out, okay? And I actually think I want 1 more black and 1 less red. 6 red, 4 black. And then if you count the Barrel of Blasting Jelly, that's 7 red. And then Rumble Arena gives us 8 red. And, you know, red, we're also not super heavy red. So this actually seems fine. And this maximizes our shot at being able to play our black cards earlier. So yeah, Serpent of the Past is certainly that I'm considering cutting. All right, like I said, I can definitely cut this. You know, I have a really crazy idea, but I feel like it might be correct. I feel like I want the Otter Penguin. I feel like I want to get off to good starts. I actually think it's the Accumulate Wisdom. Hear me out. This doesn't trigger the card draw effects, and I don't think I have a critical mass of lessons, right? Like if I cut something other than this, it's probably going to be a lesson, and I want to curve out, and I just don't think I'm going to pull this off that often, okay? It doesn't trigger any of these cards, but it does work with the Dragonfly Swarm. Yep, I'm cutting it. I want to try the Pursuit, and I just don't think I'm going to have enough lessons in my graveyard. Let's give this a whirl. All right, now before round 1 starts, just wanted to say that if you've been enjoying this content and wanted to support the channel in a different way, I do have a Patreon. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. I post monthly videos for the Patreon. I do private streams on the Patreon, and there's a lot of other benefits on the Patreon. Check it out. All right. It might be crazy, but... because I really want... yeah, but let's try this and see how this goes. The other consideration was like Barrel of Blasting Jelly, but I don't know. If I want to play all 3 colors, I think I kind of need to do it this way. All right, well, we're drawing all of our black sources. If they keep up 2 mana, then I'm just going to play Messenger Hawk here first. Because it's very obvious that they have like a quench. Yeah. People are taking this very highly now. Do you have another play? It's probably like they have a removal spell, like a Lightning Strike, and they're wondering whether or not they should keep up Lightning Strike to kill something, or pump. That's what it feels like to me. Because it's going to be really hard to kill Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper in general. Next turn, I mean, look, I have all lands. If I have nothing to do, you better believe I'm just going to crack the Boiling Rock Prison and try to get something done there. 1, 2... Yeah, I'm just taking it. Like I said, I feel like they have a lightning strike, so I'm just not gonna block. Like, I'm kind of all in on this Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper. Vindictive Warden, okay. See if they block. I'm hoping they don't. Alright, great. Great. Okay, we drew Knowledge Seeker, and, you know, we have the mana to just cast all of our cheap stuff next turn, so this is totally fine too. And we can just lock down one of these two cards. I mean, they do have infinite Firebending here. I mean, this is obviously a race that we can most likely handle, so... Oh, okay. Never mind, maybe this is a race we can't handle. We'll see. I mean, I'm at 6 life. What the hell happened? Alright. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here. Keeping this here seems good. The question is, do I want to use this to draw a card, bounce my token, and grow this? Or do I just want to bounce the Vindictive Warden as a tempo play? It's not the strongest thing to do, though. But they don't have that many things they can do, so it does buy me some time. And if they move the Twin Blades over and hit me, that's a good amount of damage. I don't know. This is kind of tricky. I think I want to draw a card. If I had another blue source, I could have picked up the Watery Grasp, I guess. The good thing is this doesn't give double strike, and I have Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper, which gives me lifelink, so there is that. Okay, so we take... Oh, they're probably going to burn the Knowledge Seek. No, they're not doing anything with that mana. Watery Grasp. Ooh, that was really good. Damn. Okay. We might be dead here. I'm at 5 life. So if they kill one of my creatures, I am in trouble. Especially the Messenger Hawk. Then if they kill my Messenger Hawk with like a Firebending lesson, then I'm almost dead. Now if they don't kill my Messenger Hawk, I might be able to get them. Because my Messenger Hawk also grows. It's very close. It's certainly very close. But we actually just didn't draw as much removal as we'd like. We're obviously double blocking here. Oh, do they have Lightning Strike? That's also a problem. But there's not much I can do. Oh man, I'm at 10 life. They probably have Lightning Strike, right? That's what it felt like when they attacked me with the Fire Nation Cadets. But there's not too much I can do. Maybe I can represent it. I don't know. Yeah, they 100% have it. Yeah. Alright, was a close game. They found the line. Maybe I should have locked down the other creature, but that was a really close game. Wow, we went from 13th to 28th. That's brutal. I mean, it was all that one turn where they got in for like so much damage, right? With the twin blades. Man. Yeah, we just couldn't find enough action there. Like I said, the other line was just bouncing the 2-3 and hoping I just naturally find ways to draw cards. And maybe that was better to just allow myself to find more time so I don't take a bunch of damage off the 2-3 and getting down to... Like, when you're playing against a red deck, you always have to be mindful that they can lightning strike you out, so... And it felt like they had it from previous turns, so maybe I should have just played a more defensive approach. Losing the first game always feels bad. Like, especially because my opponent didn't play... Like, it's not like my opponent played like a busted rare by any means. So, it feels even worse. Alright, on the draw here, I'm gonna keep this. We have a 2-drop in the Yuyan Archers. Oh, wow, we drew the Black Source, so that's wonderful. I mean, I'm not gonna sandbag the Archers here. I'm definitely playing at turn 2. But I feel like everybody just has a quench at the ready now, so... So I kind of want to play this on turn 5. So hear me out. The way that I want to sequence this... What the hell is this? The way I want to sequence this is play Messenger Hawk, play Cave of Two Lovers, get the Mountain, then play Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper, and then crack the Clue on turn 5. So we are planning many turns ahead here. And obviously, like, we want the Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper to at least be able to make us one unblockable token if possible. So that's kind of the approach that I want to take here. Alright, my opponent's on, like, Nonsense Shrines. I hope that we can beat Nonsense Shrines. That is my hope. Well, they literally played an Avatar Aang naturally on turn 4. Well, that's silly. What do you do? Whenever you Waterbend, Earthbend, Firebend, or Airbend, draw a card. It's a 4-mana 4/4 flying Firebend 2. Okay. You know they're gonna go like 1 and 3 because they just didn't draw their mana. Like, we know that that's gonna happen, but it's not happening here. No. Alright, well, they're at 13 life. We'll see what happens here. Well, why does it feel like I took a lot more damage? It was that animation. Fair enough. Okay. If they have entered the Avatar state, I'm gonna lose it. Okay. Alright. At least they didn't have that. Oh, what does this do? They make 2 prowess tokens? Alright, I mean, they're just getting there on all fronts. That is the nature of the beast sometimes. All good. Yeah, take all the damage, sir. All of it. Our opponent at 6 life. That's Avatar Aang. One. I gotta think here. 2, 3, 4. Go to 3. All right. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, they certainly had a lot of power. But we had the removal spell for the Aang, and we got there. Oof. Look. I do not want to be the person to lose to the Shrine deck. I don't recognize the Shrine deck as like a real archetype in this format. It's a cool, sweet thing to do. And they certainly had some of the bombs to do it. But the Shrines needed to be a little bit stronger. Remember the Honden? The Honden were cool, right? The blue one drew you cards, the green one made you tokens, the white one gained you life. Like, they all kind of worked well together. The Shrines are not the Honden. I'll tell you that much. Alright, on the play here. I have a bunch of good mana fixing, so I will keep it. Slightly clunky hand, I will say, but Airship Engine Room into, you know... now, this one, I don't know if which one I want to play turn 3. Like, do I want the Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper or the Messenger Hawk? Oh, wow. That's really interesting. I can't play a turn 2, though. I've said this before, like, I'm at the point where I already know what my turn 3 play is going to be here, so I'm waiting on the scry to get more information. We definitely want to land. We'll keep that on top. And I need to figure out what I want to play here. I'll play the Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper. Blue-green is going to have a really tough time dealing with Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper. So next turn, I can go Obsessive Pursuit. And let's see, whenever you attack, put X numbers. Okay. Let's crack this. Is it whenever you attack? Okay. And it's got lifelink. Oh yeah, this is great. Yeah, I like how our black splash are all the cards that are winning us this game. Feels good. Feels good. Energy bending? What's happening over there? I guess they're cycling? Maybe they have firebending lesson here? Okay, so this tells me that they really want to fill their graveyard with lessons, and they want to get, like, an accumulate knowledge or wisdom or whatever going ASAP. Earthbending lesson. Okay, drawing a land would be great. I can just kill this thing. And bouncing it would be amazing. Okay, I drew a tap land. Yeah, I mean... Okay, another Lost Days. Attack. 4/6 lifelinker with Octopus form available. Very, very good. Alright. Feeling pretty good about this. What is this? Leaves from the vine, okay. Platypus Bear does not get it done. Sparring Dummy does not get it done. Wow! Really? I'm gonna save the octopus form. Holy cow. So here's my question. Do I just play a second one here? And just make 2 unblockable things and not care about octopus form? I think so. I think it's worth. Crack the clue. If I draw any untapped land, it would be amazing. I did not. Never lucky. So they can't kill this, and this is none of these are spirits, right? All right. All right, let's just start making unblockable spirits. And they're at 7, I'm at 24, and my hand is just completely filled with action. You know, now is probably a good time for them to go after... Okay, they play Waterbending Lesson. That's tough, right? That is... a tough spot to be able to win from based on our board here. Because we're just making two 1/1 blockable, two 1/1 unblockables every single turn. And it's just going to be just so strong here. Okay. Let's tap this and this. I would love a land. Okay. Well, if there's one thing we're not able to find here, I guess it's the land. But I will say, if they have a sweeper, we're fine, right? If they have a sweeper, like, we have more than enough to win with. I mean, they have good cards, Invasion Submersible, Teamer Lessons, etc., but they just didn't have removal for my Foggy Swamp Spirit Keepers. And that's how good this card is. And this is why I speculated on it, just because I think it's so powerful, it's worth trying to splash if you can try to figure out your mana. So the best ways to splash, of course, are through some of the lands. Aang's Journey, which also acts as a lesson, which is really nice. And, you know, in a pinch, like, I will play one barrel of Blasting Jelly. I don't feel good about the second one, though. Alright, opponent going first. Yeah, this hand's fine. No Foggy Swamp Spirit Keepers, but you know what? I do have Lightning Strike, so, you know, turn 2 Lightning Strike into turn 3 Messenger Hawk into, you know, getting us to where we need, I think is fine. Oh, hey, we drew a 2-drop. Otter Penguin. I would much rather use the Otter Penguin to trade with the 2-drop. Okay, that's a Turtle Duck. You know, I laugh now. You know what's going to happen, right? I laugh now, and then they're going to play Diligent whatever, the 4-drop, and I'm going to just die. Jiangjiang's Deserters. Okay. 1/5 Turtle Duck. They truly did it. Play Messenger Hawk here. I mean, I guess now it's like a 1/5 unblockable, if you think about it. Oh, another ridiculous deck. Okay, it's a Shrine deck. Shrines are happening. They should have attacked first. Okay, well, I literally have nothing to do this turn. So why don't we crack this. Find something. More lands. That's not ideal. Okay. Well, I have a Lightning Strike, but I don't want to Lightning Strike either of these things. I imagine they're going to be playing another Shrine this turn. Hopefully, I'm really hoping that they find something that I can Lightning Strike. That's not great. Okay. Why is everybody doing the Shrines thing? I mean, I guess right now it doesn't look terrible. I guess I'll Lightning Strike that. They have the mana to Earthbend 5, by the way. That's ridiculous. Alright, you know, I mean, I gotta give credit to my opponent. They did something pretty sweet here. So. Alright, well, this hand, we're getting a little bit flooded here. And we haven't found any of our payoff cards or card draw effects. So that's obviously not where we want to be. That is the most... That's the most loaded Turtle Duck I will ever see. I mean, it's gonna be a 6/6 Trampler. I guess we just bounce it. Okay, they did not want that. Alright, let's play the Rumble Arena first. Boomerang Basics. I guess I'll keep it. 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess we're like really close to killing them, but not quite there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Land. Sacrifice. Just trying to draw a bunch of cards. Like, I have the octopus form, but this isn't quite enough to kill my opponent. It still gives me a blocker here. They have one card. I'm like a messenger hawk short of killing my opponent. I guess I could have blocked the ally token here. I don't know. Okay, crack the land. I mean, if I find a lightning strike off the top, that would be sick. Or an obsessive pursuit. Watery grasp is good for the badger mole. Okay, Yuyan archers. Okay, knowledge seeker. They're at 2 life. I'm at 8 life. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm wondering what's better here, knowledge seeker or just playing octopus form. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, octopus form is better. They just hit me with the good game. I don't love that. Oh, man. All right, let's pass. That'll get it done. It doesn't have haste, though, right? But it does drain me for 5, which is really brutal here. So land. So I can untap and block both of these. I actually think I have the win here, which is really funny. So let's sandbag them because they're being rude. You got to teach the kids a lesson, you know what I mean? Do they trample? No. So I go to 1 life and then I crack this land and they die. Nice shrine deck, Mike. Nice. Nice preemptive GG. You thought you had it. You thought you did. But you didn't. 3-1. A most satisfying victory. All right. Opponent on the play here. 1 lander, we will throw back. We will throw back the 1 land. I mean, this is a good hand. Like, if it had 2 more lands, I would keep. Or if it... Actually, if it had 1 more land, I would keep. But not with 1 land. I can't keep that. Let's keep this, and let's bottom the 5 mana card. And also the blue card I can't cast early. And, you know, I am well aware that my mana isn't perfect. So certainly we can be in a position here where I just can't cast my spells and I lose. And that is the risk that we take. And we're playing against Grixis Lessons. And if I don't draw land number 3 here, well, we are done for. So. Yep. Could have used one of these. People take them very highly, though. Alright, I guess we'll play this. But no land here is so bad. I even was responsible in mulligan my hand. And you know me. I'm not one who mulligans very often. You know what I mean? But this is like just an amazing curve with all their colors, and we are... Sad? I'm gonna go with sad. I don't love this spot. I don't love this spot. Oh my gosh, do you have a waterbending card too? Why is this back? They sure do. Yeah. Tap land too, great. Alright. Well, after a nice satisfying victory over the BM Shrine player, we have a most unsatisfying loss there. But you know what? That's part of Magic the Gathering. You shrug it off and you move on. Yeah. I mean, that wasn't even necessarily a complete color thing. It was just, we just needed land number 3. All right, opponent on the play. We have a totally fine hand, though. Turn 2 Knowledge Seeker into Yuyan Archers to pump the Knowledge Seeker, unless we draw a Swamp, in which case we're going to try to get that Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper out there before we play out the Yuyan Archers. Ooh, that land is very, very tricky to beat. There's a lot of, like, mana sinky lands in this format, but obviously there's one for each rare color, and there's this thing. Oh, they missed the land drop. Oh my. I'm actually, you know, because they have the quench mana, I'm actually going to play the archers and see what happens. And then we'll just take it easy here. Keep up the octopus form. Professor Zay, sure. Dragonfly Swarm is also quite good. So this will be a 4/3. Okay. All right. Knowledge Seeker is huge. And if they don't deal with it now... Oh, they did. Oh well. I would love to draw land this turn. I did not draw land this turn, which I dislike. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? I kind of want to get this going still and just get in for a good attack. I just don't want to miss land drops, you know what I mean? Let's just... If I draw land? No? Man, alright, let's just play this, sack this too. Oh, there we go. Five, 3. They can't cast anything. What is this? Solstice Revelation? Okay. Alright, well, I will say the nice thing about this is that this is unlocking our hand. Like, every single creature I play has to be removed, and we have so much more action here, right? Why did Professor Zay attack? Okay. I mean, this card is certainly quite good. I wonder if, let's see, I'm at 11 life. I mean, this is definitely a little bit concerning. Like, I'm wondering if I should just go Lost Days on the Wartime Protesters while they're tapped out. I kind of want to do that. And then I'm going to keep up Octopus Form. Because now Yuyan Archers is a lethal attack next turn. They might be forced to use the Professor to get back Iroh's Demonstration, and then we can use Octopus Form. And then next turn, I can actually sack 3 clues off of the Obsessive Pursuit, and then have an 8/6 lifelinker with the Yuyan Archers. They have plenty of cards, though. I mean, we have a lot as well. But that was a really aggressive attack, so... yeah, we'll see what happens here. Okay. And I guess this thing can attack as well. So the question now becomes, do I want to use the Octopus Form now to just eat something to keep my life total high? And be okay with the fact that like this is still going to eat something else? And I think the answer is yes. Like, I just need to preserve my life total here. I feel like they're trying to cheese me out here somehow. And so I'm going to play it this way. I mean, here's my question, right? Like, if I gain 8 life, can they even kill me? It seems really difficult. But the problem is that also makes me go all in on the archers. And then if they have a removal spell for the archers, I have no board. Right? So it's an interesting spot. Like, I can either choose to gain a ton of life this turn, or I can just play, like, multiple creatures. I'm just going for it here. Ooh, that changes things, actually. That changes things because it gives me 2 blockers. Nah, I can just do that for the following turn. I will take Lightning Strike. Yeah, so I go to 16. So I'm feeling pretty good about being at 16 here, based on this board. So we'll see what happens. Like, I'm trying to think how I can lose. Like, if they play this haste, firebending, 2 mana, +2/+0 their team, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 damage, right? Okay. Okay, it won't have lifelink next turn. So that's something to keep in mind. And at this point, this is just chumping everything. And if they only keep 2 things back, I have the ability to go Lightning Strike plus sacrifice Barrels of Blasting Jelly to kind of clear the way. So, interesting spot here. They might just concede. I don't know. Maybe they don't if they have an answer for this. Okay, that's not too scary. Yeah, no point going too crazy here. I'm just going to attack. Like, they have the hexproof spell available, so I just don't want to do anything nuts. I'm going to play Cave of 2 Lovers because that gives me access to two creatures. And then I think the safest line is actually to play the Otter Penguin as well. This gives me an unblockable threat to go with the Lightning Strike 2 and an extra blocker, and I have access to Lightning Strike. So let's go and do that. Alright, so this is, I guess, what like an aggro... This is what like an aggro lessons deck looks like. Fire Nation Cadets and such. Also, this Obsessive Pursuit has been gas. Well, that's certainly a good sign. They're discarding Wartime Protesters. Do I want to crack this clue now? Yeah, probably. Use my mana, you know. Get more options going here. Alright. Let's get a mountain. And figure things out. 5 life. Let's think. Let's play Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper. Let's crack a clue. Let's attack with these 2. Let's put a counter here. And then we'll just Lightning Strike them. And I'm going to play a land untapped, of course. And they can't quench it. I love it. They lightning struck themselves, put the power of their destiny in their own hands, and we are 4-2. That was a good game, though. Good back and forth. Actually, like, considering how behind they were, right, and by missing a couple of land drops, they actually put up a pretty good fight there. 4-2. All right, we are on the play. Couple of lost days, which is not ideal, but I have a watery grasp if they get like a somewhat aggressive start, and then I have Messenger Hawk as well. Of course, they play a 1/1 vigilance creature, but sure. Momo playful pet, but we do have Messenger Hawk, and hopefully that draws us into more things. Okay, they're playing up just a bunch of 1/1s here. Think we can handle that. Earth Kingdom Protectors is pretty good. I did draw Firebending Lesson, so that is a nice way to answer the Earth Kingdom Protectors. And honestly, if they have a trick here to attack through with Messenger Hawk, I don't really care, right? So Glider Kids is kind of annoying, I suppose. This is kind of annoying because I can't actually attack with Messenger Hawk. Like, if I don't draw a land, what do I do? Oh, I drew a land. So that definitely makes things more interesting. Let's kill this now. And we're just not attacking. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Five cards in hand for the opponent. And, okay, well, I guess, you know what? We had a good run. They played a busted land here in Abandoned Air Temple, and that probably is going to be it here for us. Yeah, we'll take 2. God, that's annoying. Oh, well. I think this is better, and then I just keep up lost days for something else later. We'll see. Wow, that's a really weird card to be playing in your, like, blue-white aggro allies deck, but I guess if you need cards for your deck... Like, they have a really weird deck. There's, like, Bender's Water Skin in the deck as well. I mean, it's kind of wild. Alright, Earth Kingdom Jailer, sure. At least they're not utilizing the Abandoned Temple, so there is that. But if they play 2 creatures this turn, that also puts me in a tough spot. And then we have Octopus Form for later. I mean, we have a ton of clues. There is that. And we can shuffle... Oh, I can shuffle the Glider Kids back in. Yeah, that's really good. I can shuffle this in response. I don't think I care about keeping up Octopus Form. Alright, I'm gonna take a crap ton of damage. Fair enough. Yeah, that means they have another creature here as well. Okay. Yep. Wait, you have a Watery Grasp too? I didn't realize... Okay, well... I guess I should have kept up the Octopus Form. Yeah, everything is going about as poorly as you can imagine. Yeah, I mean, we just need to draw like infinite removal spells and hope that gets us done. Gets it done. Stop drawing stuff! Holy cow! Please! Ugh. Now they have the tough choice, I guess, between activating this, but yeah. It's actually crazy how good this land is compared to all the other lands. Like, this is like a 10 out of 10 land, and everything else is like a B. I don't know, it's crazy. It's crazy to me. I guess this means they're not attacking me, which is fine. So maybe I just have like the best sequence of draws ever. We'll see. I can't even play that card. Yeah. Alright, well. I'm at 8 life. They're at 16 life. God, this land is so dumb. So dumb. Will people play this land though? Like, is there like a mono white deck in Standard? It's obviously a very strong card. Alright, well, you know what? Like I said, you need to, like, desensitize yourself to losing to specific cards. And in this instance, it's Abandoned Air Temple. Like, we all know how powerful this format is in general. And you just have to kind of accept that and move on. That is how this goes. Do I have a lesson in my graveyard? I do. This will be a 4/5. So let's block there. And block here. Oh, I should have chumped this. What am I doing? I'm just dead. I'm an idiot. I should have chumped the Suki. Holy crap, I just missed that it attacked. Okay. Hey, everybody makes mistakes, myself included. So there's a couple of small mistakes I made in that game. I could have kept up the octopus form to protect my messenger hawk, but that would have tapped down all of my creatures. And alternatively, I could have also blocked the Suki. I don't think I'm winning that game because there is literally no way for me to beat that land, especially after they drew the Water Tribe Rallier. So, I mean, like when the games go a little bit longer and they have that land in play, there's just not much I can do. So I think this deck was fine. Certainly nothing super crazy. I'm trying to figure out what I lost to. I believe there was a game where we didn't hit 3 lands. We lost to that. And then we lost to this deck, which was a legitimate loss to a very strong deck. And then I don't remember what the other loss... Oh, it was a round 1 loss. It was a round 1 loss. But again, I don't remember what that loss was. So, you know, like, if you look at this deck, our best cards were our uncommons and our rares, right? Like, everything else just is secondary. Like, even Messenger Hawk, it's fine. It's a role player. You take it, you play it. Right? Same thing with the Lost Days or what have you, but these were the best cards, by far. Obsessive Pursuit, Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper, maybe some Lightning Strikes, and everything else was just like allowing us to try to just sneak in some damage with some of these other cards and win the game that way. And I think that's fine for the most part. You know, the issue with this deck was that the all-in lessons deck wasn't super open. Like, if you want, like, I don't love doing lessons without the good payoffs, right? And in this instance, it was like we had the swarm. So I thought we were set up early, especially after we had the accumulate wisdom, but we just didn't get enough at the end, right? And so I think it's kind of hard to actually pull off. So when you lose to like an insane lessons deck, just know that like it's not that common. It happens sometimes. And when they get there, you shake their hand, you go, good job, you're the only lessons player at the table. But I think it's a very fun archetype that a lot of people are going to look to draft, so it's hard to pull off. And I am definitely trying to expand my horizons and try to be a little bit greedier because of the power level disparity of a lot of the cards that exist in this format. So because of how good the uncommons are and the rares, like you want to keep yourself flexible. Like even when you like 10th pick, if you see a tap land that's like half of your color, you should probably take it over like a really mediocre card, because there is a chance you just open a card that you want to splash, right? And if that's the case, then you move in, right? In this instance, for us, it was like Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper and Obsessive Pursuit. So at some point in Pack 2, we took the Black-Red land, we picked up a Rumble Arena, and we speculated on a random barrel of Blasting Jelly, and ultimately that allowed us to be able to win some games off of these extremely powerful black cards. Huge fan of Obsessive Pursuit. This card looks awesome, and I want to try this out in more decks, and I'm happy that we were able to splash it. But all in all, it did feel like we should have been in the Grixis colors. Perhaps blue-black would have been better, but given that we started with like a late-ish Lightning Strike and we got a Cave of Two Lovers, I thought maybe blue-red was where we wanted to be. And we past that Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper. Obviously, a third copy of that would have also been quite nice. So I think a blue-black deck may have been a little bit better here, but perhaps I was a little bit enamored by Dragonfly Swarm plus Lightning Strike plus Accumulate Wisdom. And if I look back, maybe we could have done something a little bit differently here. But all in all, like 4 and 3, like just like even if you're like a good drafter, all I'm gonna say is be prepared for the variance that exists in this format. There's you're gonna have good decks that go 1 and 3 and 2 and 3 because of you play against an opponent that has just more rares. And a lot of the rares aren't like super expensive rares. They're like Earthbender Ascension, haha. I played this on turn 3. You fell too far behind and you lost. They're all like reasonably costed and just way better than anything else you could be doing. And so you're going to have a wide range. But if you're a good player, you have to keep in mind that you're also going to get your fair share of those rares. So perhaps things will balance out in the long term. But just try to keep a healthier mindset with some of those losses, because there will be losses that will be out of your control because they're just too good. And just keep that in mind. There's so many things I do like about The Last Airbender. I like the mechanics. I love the flavor, right? The payoff cards are pretty cool, but there's a lot of stinky commons. It's not deep enough. Like, I think Final Fantasy was perfect. The reason being is Final Fantasy also had a lot of incredible bombs, right? However, their commons were also juiced, right? Like, the commons were insane. And so the removal was premium. The spells at common were also really, really good, to the point where you can have a deck with commons with good synergies and still feel like you're doing something with your deck, right? If you have a bunch of town greeters and summon fat chocobos, you can still get there, right? Here, that is not the case. The best commons are just a handful of removal spells and it'll quench ya. Right? And why Idle Quencha is so good in this format is because you need counter spells to counter the good things that your opponents are trying to cast. So you have to make that mind shift. You have to make that adjustment for this format. It's like, if you try to do a mid-range thing, you need to try to have like some busted rares in your deck, or you want to be like a proactive deck that basically can try to kill your opponent before your opponents play their big things. Those are probably the two best strategies to employ. Starting the draft with a mid-range strategy without a signpost card or like a good rare is in very easy recipe to going like 3 and 3 and 4 and 3. So just keep that in mind. I have been trying to make those adjustments as well. I've been doing okay, not incredible. Ekin somehow has like a stupid win rate with like 70 billion trophies. So I wish I knew what they were doing. I don't, but props to you for being rank 1 again. What is your secret sauce? Anyways, thank you so much for watching, as I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed this content and wanted to support the channel in a different way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Also, head on over to TCGplayer.com for all your Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. If you want to buy booster boxes of Magic the Gathering product, including Avatar: The Last Airbender, or you want some singles for your standard, modern, pioneer, or commander decks, check out TCGplayer.com. Hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Last but not least, go to heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. They are your one-stop shop for top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, life pads, and much, much more. Go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.